You know, in the high-stakes world of global innovation, it's not just about inventing something new, it's also about strategy. And today, we're diving into a powerful but kind of little-known strategic tool, one that lets you challenge a competitor's patent in China before it can ever become a problem for you. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's put you in the hot seat for a second. Imagine this. Your biggest competitor, they're about to get a patent that could totally disrupt your business. I mean, it could literally wall off a huge chunk of your market. So you feel like you're just waiting for the axe to fall, right? But what if I told you that you could act first? Is it even possible to challenge a patent before it's officially granted?
All right, let's talk about that. A patent showdown. And believe me, it's not just about filling out some paperwork. This is a full-on competitive arena.
So can you do it? Well, in China, the answer is a huge, resounding yes. You absolutely can challenge a patent before it's granted. And not only that, there's a whole playbook for how to do it.
So what exactly is this playbook? Well, it's a formal system, and it's a really clever one. It works by leveraging the power of the public, and especially the power of competitors just like you.
Okay, so the official name for this is the Information Provision System. In China, they call it public opinion submission. Now, the idea here is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It's a process that lets anyone, and I mean anyone, send evidence to the patent office to argue that, hey, this patent application shouldn't be approved.
But hold on a second. Why would a government patent office actually want outsiders getting involved in their examination process? It seems a little weird, right? What's the problem this whole system is trying to solve? Well, it really comes down to sheer scale. The number of patent applications around the world has just exploded. I mean, look at this. We're talking 3.4 million in 2022 alone. Think about it. It is physically impossible for patent examiners to find every single piece of relevant prior art. You know, all the existing technology that's already out there. They just can't do it on their own.
And that brings us right to the core logic of the whole system. This quote really nails it. Rival companies are likely to be more familiar with prior art than the examiners. So this system basically says, hey, who knows the most about this specific technology? Probably the other companies working in the exact same field. It's a brilliant way to harness all that specialized knowledge and hopefully make the whole patent system better.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get into the good stuff, the user's playbook. How do you actually use this thing? What are the rules of the game? You know, it's actually way more accessible than you might think. First up, who can do this? The answer is anyone. Literally anyone. And here's the really crucial part. While you can't submit 100% anonymously, you can use a patent agent to file for you, which basically shields your identity. That's a huge strategic advantage. Okay, next, what do you actually submit? Pretty straightforward. You give them your evidence, like other patents or scientific articles, and you pair it with an opinion statement that lays out your argument. And finally, how do you get it to them? Super easy. You can do it online, by mail, or you can even walk up to the patent office window.
Now, this part is absolutely critical. Timing is everything. This is not some unlimited opportunity you can use whenever you want. There is a very specific window. It opens up as soon as the patent application is made public, but it slams shut the second that grant notice is issued. If you miss that window, you're out of luck. It's too late. Okay, so the big question is, does this even work? I mean, are you just shouting into the void, or do examiners actually pay attention to this stuff? Well, a study looked into this, and the results are pretty interesting. In about 46% of cases, so almost half the time, the information that was submitted was likely taken into account by the examiner. That's not a guarantee, for sure, but it is a really significant chance to influence the final decision. And all of this brings us to the real heart of the strategy here. Because, just because you can use this tool doesn't always mean you should. It creates a huge choice with some serious consequences. Do you attack early, or do you wait?
So let's break down the two main options you have. On one side, you've got information provision, which is what we've been talking about. You do this before the patent is granted. The burden is relatively light, and the cost is pretty low. On the other side, you can wait until after the patent is granted and file for an invalidation trial. But look at the difference. The burden here is much, much bigger, and the cost, it can be 5 times higher or even more.
So what are the real trade-offs here? Let's think this through. If you attack early, the advantage is obvious. It's cheap and you might kill the patent before it's even born. But there's a huge risk. You're basically showing the applicant your cards. They see your evidence and a smart applicant might be able to tweak their patent claims just enough to get around your arguments.
Now, if you wait for the grant, yeah, it's going to cost you more. But, and this is a big but, the applicant has way less room to change their claims during an invalidation. So your knockout punch might land a lot harder.
All right, let's zoom out for a minute, because this isn't just a thing in China. This is a global patent game, and you have to know that the rules change a lot depending on which country you're playing in.
And the differences can be massive. For example, that trick of using an agent for anonymity works in China and Japan, but in the US, nope, you have to sign your name. The timing window can be totally different, and some places, like Japan, are way stricter about what kind of evidence you can even submit. So what's the big lesson here? You absolutely have to have local knowledge. One strategy does not fit all.
So, let's boil this all down to one key takeaway. China's system for challenging patents pre-grant, it's an incredibly powerful and low-cost tool to have in your back pocket. But, and this is the important part, it's useless without the right timing and the right strategy. They are absolutely everything.
And that leaves us with a bigger question to chew on. These systems that invite the public, and let's be real, competitors into the process, do they actually make the patent system stronger? Do we get better, higher quality patents because of it? Or does it just turn the whole thing into an even more complex, even more competitive battlefield? It's a really interesting question, and it gets right to the heart of what innovation looks like today.